Hi again folks, how's all doing? This is a Hornby Class 25 diesel locomotive in BR green, and it's another locomotive that Peter has sent me. And he says that this thing hesitates occasionally and sometimes needs a push. So let's power it on. I mean, that's running super smooth and quiet. Well, there doesn't seem much wrong with that. Reverse. Forward again. Well, as far as I can see, this runs absolutely fine. It's very quiet and very smooth. I would really want to leave it alone, to be honest, but we'll have a look at it because, you know, maybe it's just, if I kept playing around with it, maybe it would start to manifest some problems. You never know. So I think we'll just take it to the bench and have a look at it and maybe give it a bit of a clean out or something. A bit of a light service, I think that's all we'll do, hopefully. Right, let's get to the bench. Okay, so just after I filmed that intro, I ran this around a wee bit more and stopped it and started it and, you know, just messed about with it generally. And yeah, a couple of times it did kind of stick, it wouldn't pull away, you had to give it a wee nudge. But other than that, it runs really, really well. So I don't anticipate doing very much to this. It's got a Ringfield motor. I don't think I'm going to take it all to bits because I think this runs fine. I strongly suspect it's either maybe the gears are a bit sticky or maybe the axles are a bit dirty or something, and that's just stopping it running as well as it could, but it does run exceptionally well. So let's see, how do we get into this? I'm guessing this is just clipped. Yeah. At least this comes apart, not like the Class 55. And oh, we've got lights. Alright, so we've got illuminated, what's its numbers. I don't know if they work actually. Let's just put this on the test track to see if they worked. Because I maybe just didn't see it running it in daylight. Yes, they do. Yep, the lights work. That's fine. It's got a nice simple power bogey to remove. We do that, and out it comes. And we've got white wire at the front, which I think is probably for the lights. Pull that out. And the brown wire for the motor. Let's pull that. And I can put that to one side. And then we can have a wee look at this motor to see if there's anything that might be causing any problems. No. It's not the usual dry, gunked up mess that they usually are. It's been lubricated. Pull out the motor. Ooh, we've got a little foreign body here. A little piece of glass or perspex. Does that come off this anywhere? I'm not seeing anything broken, but we do have a foreign object in the motor. So, at least it was worthwhile opening this up to get rid of that. But that's maybe all it's been. It's just occasionally that's just got itself into a position that was jamming the gears or something. There is an awful lot of rubbish behind those drive wheels. So I think I'm going to pull the wheels. So these are set for 14.4-ish. But let's pull them if I can. There we go. Bit of force. Yeah, there we go. Load of fluff. That doesn't help. the old contact cleaner onto these because it does a good job cleaning out all that crap. So, tri-feel's all nice and clean. We'll give the axle shaft a good scoosh. Not much coming out of them. What we'll maybe do is just have a look at the condition of the brushes. Because even though it's running well, maybe the brushes are in a bad state. See, they're not coming out, and that's not usually a good sign. And actually, the commutator is a bit of a mess. Okay, so even though it's running well, I am going to give this a bit more of a full service. There's one of the gears come off. It's alright. There's one of the brushes come off with the springs. Lift these clips. Yeah. I think there's oil got into this commutator. It's a bit of a mess. I'd maybe explain why it's running so quietly. But no, you don't want oil in there. So I'm going to put the springs and brushes, because they're so dirty actually, I'm going to put them in my metal cleaner. They'll get a soak in there for a couple of hours. I'll give this commutator the usual teacup treatment. Oh wow, it's very dirty. Okay, commutator clean. Give this a bit of a blast out. And there we go. We shall leave all that contact cleaner to evaporate, and we'll let the brushes soak. And once they're ready, we'll pop them back in, put this back together, and we'll see how it goes. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's actually a little bit noisier after having done this. There was so much oil in there, you know, it was maybe going to make it run quiet, but that amount of oil was going to cause a problem if that had kept going. So even though I initially thought I was going to leave this thing alone because it was running so nicely, I'm glad I had a look and decided to open it up. Okay, so everything cleaned up. We'll get this back together. Put that back on. We'll get some oil in that bearing and pop the brushes in. This one's still got spring attached, so it's quite easy. Once the brushes in, we shall put some power lube on these axles to check the condition of the traction tyres before we put these wheels on. Yeah, they seem okay. It's fine. Quick battery test. Okay, put this motor back into the chassis. Should just clip in like that. We can get this connected back up. Brown wire. There's not an awful lot of room to manoeuvre here. Connects to that. And this white wire goes down in there. Like that. And this should just clip back in. Pop on the test track. And we're going, and lights are working. Okay, pop the body on. It goes that way. So I'm going to pop this on late again and give it a few laps round. Okay, so rather than just run this round the track again on its own, I've hooked it up to some goods. So we've got the wagons that Peter sent me and some of my ventilated vans. So let's power up. And off it goes. So there we are, that's this Hornby Class 25 serviced. I mean, it was running fine, but the commutator and the brushes were very oily, and you know, the wheels were a bit dirty, so I'm not quite sure why it was running so well, but it did seem to have a slight intermittent problem. And I haven't been able to replicate that since servicing it, so hopefully that's it sorted, and it should be fine for a while now. Right, okay folks, catch you later.